If you're expecting a bunch of guru fluff and get-rich-quick garbage, you've come to the wrong place. This show is the no bullshit real deal.
No bullshit real deal.
I'm Larry Harbolt, and they call me the real deal. Welcome to my show. This show is aimed at providing you with quality information so you can make more profit in the fastest way possible without making costly mistakes from the deals you do.
Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Today's podcast is about something I think is very important, and it all is stemmed from my past. And today I want to talk about you got to stop thinking small. If you remember my pitiful story, where I came from in Michigan, I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have nice clothes. We were dairy farmers. We eked out a living. So it was a struggle for us. We worked 7 days a week, 365 days a year because we had cows to milk twice a day. It was a tough life, but it was, for me, a good life. I enjoyed my life because my family at the time were all alive. We worked as a team. It was a wonderful atmosphere. I had come from a great family. We just didn't have a lot of money. So I want to talk about the mentality of where I come from. And many of you know I grew up in Michigan. The mentality there, it was one of the things that drove me nuts, that I just had to leave Michigan because I couldn't stand being around people who had small thinking. Now, what do I mean by that? In Michigan, all the people that I knew I come from the southwest corner, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The people there, the only way you can make money is if you have a job. Everybody worked in the factory. And so if you had a factory job, you lived on what you made, but that was it. You couldn't go any farther because you didn't have money to have the nicer things in life in most cases. So many of the business people, the people that worked in factories, looked down at because they thought they were crooks and shysters that screwed somebody to get more money than what they had. You see, they worked in the factory, and they all made, at the time, probably $12 an hour. And so they knew what they could afford for their family on $12 an hour. But then if some of the business people had a lot more nice things, nicer car, nicer house, they figured that they had to screw somebody to get that money. They had to rip somebody off, which is just not true. So in my life now, in beautiful Florida, in the real estate market, see, I can't afford that small thinking. That is something I just can't handle. If that's what you think, you're never going to be able to expand out into a prosperous life. You've got to change your thinking. If you have a limited thinking, you've got to stop. You've got to change. You see, it costs too much to have that limited thinking. So ask yourself this question. When you see something you want, no matter what it is, you got to ask yourself, don't ever say, I can't afford that. You've got to ask yourself, how can I afford to buy that? Just changing the wording is so critical. It's not, I can't afford it. It's, how can I afford it? Very, very important. See, in my world today, I see nothing but opportunity. When I lived in Michigan, I didn't see any opportunity because the only opportunity was a different job that paid an extra 50 cents an hour. And so if you're not seeing opportunities, you're so limited in your future. Today, I see opportunities everywhere I look. I can't take 3 steps without seeing another opportunity that could turn into something, but it took a change in my mental attitude. Now, I know many people out there today, they think that this probably is not for them, but I'm telling you, we all have limitations because of our past, the way we were taught, our schools, our parents, well-meaning people, but they taught us to live within our means, just like my father, up until the time he passed away, always said, I was a dreamer, and dreamers never have anything. But that was the mentality of the people that he grew up with. You couldn't dream because, if you didn't get your dreams, you'd be disappointed. So don't dream. Well, don't listen to that. Have dreams, have big dreams. Because if you're ever going to see opportunities, you got to have dreams. You got to do something. So many of you don't believe that getting wealthy is possible. Some do, but many don't. Many people I talk to people all the time. I don't want to get rich. I just want enough money to have a nice life. And I say to that, horsepucky. You want a great life. You see, having been poor and now having some money is much, much better. Believe me, you sleep better at night. You don't have to screw people to get the money. It's a better lifestyle. You can do more things. You can be healthier. You can do whatever it takes to have the happy life that you want. So if you are living in the moment, it's always going to be whatever you see at that second. Don't be afraid to live in the future. Think in the future. Think of possibilities. And if you find it hard to stay positive, life always gets in the way. You're never going to change that. But it's a critical thing that you have dreams, have big dreams. I'm almost 70 years old. I have big dreams. I will have big dreams until the day I die. You need to have big dreams too. Now, if your vision you feel is hard to believe in, that you're ever going to achieve your visions, if you don't believe it's possible, it's not. There was a wise man that once said, if you think you're happy, you are. If you think you're unhappy, you are. Either way, you're right. So if you think that it's a possibility, it is. Walt Disney said if you can visualize it, you can achieve it. Very, very important. I live by that. I visualize things in my future that I never thought possible 10 years ago. You've got to look forward. You've got to think big. It's not going to hurt you. You see, the key to make all of this work is you got to have a plan. Without a plan, it's not going to help you much. You got to have dreams, lots of big dreams. Oh, don't worry. You're going to see plenty of ups and downs. That's life. But stay focused, stay positive. Those of you listening to this podcast, I imagine most of you are interested in real estate. There is such an opportunity in real estate, as long as you don't follow the market and do what everybody else does. There's a fortune to be made for everybody, depending on your belief in what you can do and your ability to get out and get the job done. So you got to stay focused, stay positive, get training, but get quality training. Don't go to the first huckster that you come across that comes to your real estate club and speak, and they're selling a $15,000 to $40,000 coaching program. No, that's not how you get a quality education. A quality education is given by someone who understands the business, not just a small aspect of it, the business as a whole, because they're the people that's going to give you more options to be a better investor and make far more money. Now, don't go to the high-priced ones, because nearly worthless coaching for someone who barely knows what they're doing is not going to benefit you. You need a coach, you need a mentor that's going to lead you and take you through the swamp so you don't get mired in. They've been through it, they can help you. So that's very, very important. You got to find a mentor that knows the inside track. That's critical. They know the secrets that's going to make you the best investor with the least amount of mistakes that you don't have to make. You got to be disciplined. Stay focused. If just getting started, use whatever it takes to get going. I have a 3-month getting started plan that many of my students use. It's because they don't know how to get started. I think that's very important. You see, you got to stop thinking small. You got to start thinking big. Because if you do, it can all be yours. You see, it's important that you open your mind, believe that you can achieve whatever it is you want. And I know I'm speaking to the choir here on many of you, but there are many people out there who just don't have the vision. Get the vision. I think it's critical to your future, and this can be such a fabulous life if you will just dream. If you can visualize it, you can achieve it. For instance, if I want to buy a new car, I do not go out and buy a car just because I want it. What I'll do is I will find out what the monthly payment on that's going to be, and I will go buy 1, 2, or 3 income properties that will cash flow enough to give me the money I need to make the payment on that new car. I don't do it in reverse. I don't buy the car and then go buy the properties. I buy the properties first, because if you don't, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. You want to be able to pay for those ideas. Either that or you're always going to be behind the 8 ball. And that's not what life is about. Start thinking big. Stop thinking small. This is a fabulous life. It's a great world, no matter what you hear on the television or the radio. There is so much opportunity. You can have such a great life. I'm so proud of what I've been able to achieve, and it's my pleasure to try and help others get over those hurdles that's going to change their life so they can have the fabulous life that they want. So that's going to wrap up this episode of my podcast for this week. I hope you found from this topic today that it had value. And I invite you to head over to larryharbolt.com and register to keep up to date with more ideas and tips to help you become a better real estate investor. Now be sure and tell a friend and leave me a review on the podcast player that you're using to listen to me right now. Your reviews help me understand and know that the information I'm giving you is valuable to you. So have a great week. See you next time. This is Larry Harbolt.
Thanks for listening to the Real Deal Podcast with Larry Harbolt. To learn more about investing in real estate, head on over to larryharbolt.com and register for his educational tips and articles delivered by email.